Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Efrem Graham. Ahead today, Senate Democrats passed their spending bill over Republican objections. The bill passing along straight party lines, with Democrats and Republicans offering very different views on what it will accomplish.
Our bill reduces inflation, lowers costs, creates millions of manufacturing jobs, enhances our energy security, and is the boldest climate package in U.S. history.
So from our perspective, we will see those tax increases coming down the line, and Americans are going to feel it.
We'll take a look at what independent analysts have to say about this major spending plan. A fragile ceasefire deal to end nearly 3 days of fighting between Israel and Palestinian militants in Gaza holding today. We'll take a look at why Israel launched a preemptive strike against one of Gaza's strongest terror groups. Has the FBI been covering up damaging information about Hunter Biden?
Information that was pretty sound for investigating Hunter Biden, but they wanted to characterize it as disinformation, and they shut that investigation down.
We'll look at how senators grill the director of the FBI and what outside analysts have to say about the case. And the church dealing with the LGBTQ movement.
I've seen this tear families apart. I encourage parents to maintain a relationship with their child, to do what you can to maintain a relationship with them while you're still holding on to biblical truth.
How Christians can show grace while handling this difficult issue. All those stories and more today on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
We begin this half hour with Senate Democrats passing a major new tax and spending bill over Republican objections. Democrats claim the $739 billion bill will cut inflation, but independent analysts disagree. Dale Hurd brings us the story.
Does calling a bill something make it true? The Biden administration is calling the bill the Inflation Reduction Act, but critics say it will actually increase inflation. With the Senate split 50-50 along party lines, Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote.
The Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the bill, as amended, is passed.
Democrats celebrated the $740 billion legislation, calling it historic.
Our bill reduces inflation, lowers costs, creates millions of manufacturing jobs, enhances our energy security, and is the boldest climate package in U.S. history.
The bill is supposed to slash prescription drug costs, fund green energy with a massive injection of $370 billion, and raise the minimum corporate tax to 15%. It also increases the Internal Revenue Service's budget six-fold, allowing it to hire 80,000 more auditors and agents. The bill's name claims it lowers inflation, but according to researchers at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton budget model, the Inflation Reduction Act will not do anything to change inflation in the long term and will actually add to inflation until 2024.
It says it would reduce the deficit by $100 billion. We're going to spend almost $1 trillion. It's not going to help inflation. It's going to make everything worse.
The Conservative Tax Foundation says the bill would increase taxes on those in every income group and reduce economic growth.
American families actually see the impact of what happens whenever you put new taxes on our economy. Now, they talk about it being on big corporations, but big corporations raise prices. They do pass it all down.
Republicans say Democrats will pay the price in this fall's midterm elections for passing the massive spending bill.
The Democrats know they're in trouble when you have to pass the Inflation Reduction Act. That would suggest that there is inflation, which we all know there is.
The bill does still have to clear the House before it gets to Joe Biden's desk, but Democrats are hoping to wrap it up this week. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Turning overseas to the Middle East now, late Sunday night, a truce between Israel and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad ended 3 days of fighting. As Chris Mitchell now reports from the Gaza border, it began with an Israeli preemptive strike against one of Gaza's strongest terror groups, a move that also sent a message to its sponsor, Iran.
Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid met with defense officials, marking the end of Operation Breaking Dawn. The action started Friday afternoon.
It began when we received intelligence, clear, certifiable intelligence, that a mobile terrorism unit was moving towards the border with Israel with large anti-tank missiles. They were going to be fired at residential cars, possibly school buses, heading down one of Israel's major roads. We were successful in eliminating that threat before they could carry out the terror attack.
Israel's targeted strikes also killed the military head of Palestinian Islamic Jihad in northern Gaza and hit other selected terror sites. The terrorists responded by firing hundreds of rockets from Gazan civilian areas into Israeli communities near the border, up the coast to Tel Aviv, and just outside Jerusalem. You see, get another one going out right now. This is that's the Iron Dome. There's two going off. You can see that right now, streaking in the sky. CBN News witnessed the Iron Dome anti-missile system intercepting 7 of the rockets. According to the IDF spokesman, the Iron Dome had a 97% success rate. Nearly 200 of the rockets fired by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad landed within Gaza, causing a number of injuries and deaths. On the Israeli side, most communities have bomb shelters, like the 20 provided by CBN Israel in strategic locations, such as the community of Yesha, just 4 miles from the Gaza border.
We have many surprises. You're not prepared. You're on the way to someplace, and we have this bomb shelter on the way. It calms the children and gives them the security to go to the tennis court and play a little.
The front lines of the conflict, known as Operation Breaking Dawn, are here on the Israeli-Gaza border. But behind the scenes, one of the main players is the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Iran is kind of the backyard of all of these organizations. They are train them, educate them, sponsor them. So Iran play a very, very important and critical role in our region for many, many years by these proxies. And the Jihad is one of the main radical Iranian proxies.
Their very mantle, if you read their charter, it says that they cannot allow the existence of the State of Israel. That's what they're trying to do.
Hamas shares the same goal as the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, but at least this time, Hamas chose to stay out of this conflict. Ephraim?
So, Chris, now that the 3-day war is over, what impact does it have on Israel and the region?
Well, first of all, Ephraim had a big blow to Palestinian Islamic Jihad, eliminated much of their leadership, and their capability to strike Israel was degraded substantially. I mean, a number of hits all the way through Gaza to many of their terrorist strikes. Then it also hurt Iran, since the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, as you saw in our report, is just the main sponsor. It's a Shiite organization, just like Iran is Shiite as well. Now, in the region, there were several countries in the Gulf. They criticized Israel, but the important point was that they didn't break ties, and that was very important. And then for the people on the border, hopefully this will bring quiet for a while. We saw Galit there in our report. They live with this kind of a threat day by day. And then yet Gaza still remains a threat for Israel, and especially the threat of Hamas, even though they didn't get into this conflict. And most believe it's really just going to be a matter of time before there's another conflict on the border.
Now, Sunday marks the end of the war. It's also a day known as Tisha B'Av. Why is this so important to the Jewish people, and how did they commemorate it?
Well, Ephraim, it's really one of the saddest days on the Jewish calendar, and it's very important for the Jewish people. And it commemorates some tragedies throughout Jewish history. That would be the destruction of the first and the second Jewish temples, the first by the Babylonians in 586 BC. Then, years later, the Romans in 70 AD. Also, the expulsions of the Jews from Spain and England. In Spain, it was in 1492. They took place on Tisha B'Av. So what they do to celebrate this, or I should say commemorate this, they read from the Book of Lamentations. Many use it as a day of fasting. Yesterday morning, hundreds went up to the Temple Mount, and then thousands ended the day in prayer last night here at the Western Wall in Jerusalem, and I'm sure most of those prayers were for the end of this 3-day war.
We saw and heard in your story you witnessing the Iron Dome in action. Why is this such a game changer?
Well, it's a game changer, Ephraim, and it's also incredible to see it in action. We were driving down the road near the border, and when we saw these two interceptors of the Iron Dome literally shoot up the sky, you can see the flames from the back of these interceptors. We watched them. We had to do what everybody does there in Israel. When you see that, you stop the car, you get off and go on the ground, and then we watch them literally follow these rockets and hit them. It's really the equivalent, Ephraim, of a bullet hitting a bullet. And the game changer comes in is that it reduces the danger of these rockets dramatically. And it actually saves both Israelis and Palestinian lives, since if Israel didn't have the Iron Dome, they would be forced to launch a ground campaign into Gaza, and that would put many lives at risk, both here in Israel and also in the Gaza Strip.
Indeed. Now, CBN has provided 20 bomb shelters to Israelis along the Gaza border. Why are those so important?
Well, they're important. They can mean life or death. You know, we saw in our report, CBN has one of those bomb shelters literally right on a tennis court. So if kids are playing tennis and all of a sudden what's called the red alarm goes off and they know that rockets are coming in, they sometimes have less than 15 seconds. Galit in our report was saying sometimes they have 6 or 7 seconds to get shelter. So it gives them peace of mind. So these kids, if they're playing out there, or adults, can run into that bomb shelter and seek safety. It's a great encouragement as well for the people there to realize they're Christians who love them, want to protect them, and will support them with these kind of bomb shelters.
All right, frightened and needed, but so glad we have it. Chris Mitchell reporting for us from our Middle East Bureau. Chris, thank you so much for your insight. Here at home, Indiana's governor signed a near-total abortion ban into law Friday, making it the first state to approve abortion restrictions since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The law forbids abortions from the time a fertilized egg implants in a uterus. Exceptions include when the mother's life is at risk and in cases of rape and incest. Abortions can only be performed in hospitals or outpatient centers owned by hospitals. The ban takes effect beginning September 15th. Coming up, the director of the FBI is facing charges his agency has covered up evidence against Hunter Biden. They say it's been simply dismissed as disinformation, but new information about Hunter's activities has come to light. We're going to hear about that when we come back. Stay with us. It's the laptop scandal that won't go away. New information has emerged about Hunter Biden's overseas business activities and the president's potential involvement. Even worse, allegations the FBI and the Justice Department are involved in a cover-up. Republican senators asked the director about the Biden investigation at a hearing Thursday and how the agency has handled other important cases. Here again is Dale Hurd with the story.
FBI Director Christopher Wray faced tough questions about the FBI's conduct on both the 2020 election and Hunter Biden laptop investigation, as more questions emerged that could further implicate the president in his son's business dealings. Uncovered records show that Joe Biden met with at least 14 of Hunter Biden's international business associates during his time as vice president, according to Fox News, contradicting his claims that it never happened.
Have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
A voicemail from Hunter Biden's laptop has also been leaked that contains the voice of Joe Biden apparently reassuring Hunter over a news story about the scandal.
Hey, pals, Dad, it's 8:15. I thought the article, at least the thing online, is going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear.
As disturbing as this new evidence against the Biden family are new claims that the FBI and Justice Department tried to cover it up. In a letter from Senator Charles Grassley to the FBI and Justice Department, the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee says numerous highly credible whistleblowers accuse them of burying verified and verifiable evidence against Hunter Biden by labeling it disinformation.
Information that was pretty sound for investigating Hunter Biden, but they wanted to characterize it as disinformation, and they shut that investigation down.
When senators asked about the Hunter Biden case during Thursday's hearing, Director Wray said he could not answer.
And you possess the laptop, right?
Again, I can't discuss that. An ongoing investigation.
Senator Ted Cruz accused the FBI and Justice Department of thoroughly crossing the line from seeking justice to politics.
I hear regularly from FBI agents and from professionals at the Department of Justice who are dismayed that our law enforcement has been weaponized and politicized rather than remaining apolitical as it has been for the history of our country.
Quinn Hillier at the Washington Examiner agrees.
A lot of people who are very much Democrats have become embedded in the FBI and have been using it to go after conservatives and Republicans.
Former U.S. Attorney Brett Tolman told us the lack of prosecutorial action against the Biden family in a case that should be a slam dunk speaks volumes.
The only explanation you can have is political, maneuvering that's going on. This would be, the easiest case you ever presented to a grand jury. It would also be one where you have so much leverage given the drugs and the sex trafficking and allegations and others that you could put a lot of leverage on individuals to expose the whole conspiracy.
More answers could come next year if the GOP wins control of Congress as top Republicans vow to get to the bottom of the allegations. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Still ahead, the church takes on the LGBTQ movement. Experts weigh in on how Christians can show grace while handling this hot-button issue. We're going to have that story for you when we come back. Stay with us. The LGBTQ lifestyle is on display throughout society in politics, education, and entertainment. No wonder more and more families have children embracing the lifestyle. Charlene Aaron brings us this report on how the church can provide help dealing with gender identity.
Disney isn't backing down from its commitment to advancing an LGBT agenda. Its latest film, Thor: Love and Thunder, is said to be filled with LGBT storylines, leading some Christian groups to boycott against the movie. This all leads to the question, how should the church address the issue while offering love, hope, and healing?
I was a believer. I knew Jesus, and I knew what Scripture said, but here I was in these relationships.
Jeff Johnston, who once lived as a gay man, recalls what it was like when he told his Christian parents.
They were both sad and upset that I had been struggling with this all these years, but they loved me. They told me they loved me, and they said, if there's anything we can do to help you in this struggle, let us know what it is.
Johnston now serves as culture and policy analyst with Focus on the Family and is helping parents navigate gender identity discussions with their children.
We believe it's important that parents begin teaching their children at a young age about God's design for humanity, for relationships, and for marriage. You're not talking to kids about sex at this point.
21% of Generation Z Americans, those born between 1997 and 2003, identify as LGBT, nearly double the number of millennials who do so. With that in mind, Johnston encourages Christian parents to talk and remain engaged.
I've seen this tear families apart. I encourage parents to maintain a relationship with their child, to do what you can to maintain a relationship with them while you're still holding on to biblical truth.
It's a subject Dr. Preston Sprinkle, head of the Center for Faith, Sexuality, and Gender, often addresses, as parents whose children struggle with their sexuality seek his help.
Somehow we need to not candy coat the truth, not water down the truth, but as good missionaries, we need to realize how can we best communicate this truth in a way that's not just going to be heard by a younger generation, but is going to be believed and celebrated.
Sprinkle, author of People to Be Loved and other related books, says that means approaching the conversation with sensitivity and compassion.
If my 13-year-old came home one day and says, all right, I want you to call me they, them. Here's my new name. I'm going to be like, let's hold the phone here. Let's have a, no, I would very graciously want to understand why they want to be called this, just really show that I care about you as a person, 100% primary. That's the fundamental. I care about you as a person. I care about what you're going through.
The subject is a tough one for many in the faith community who hold to the importance of Scripture, such as Genesis 1:27, which says God created them male and female. Sprinkle says while a growing number of churches are open to addressing the topic, others remain hesitant.
I think we would be pastorally irresponsible if we said, I will not disciple the people God's entrusted me in some of the most pressing ethical questions facing the church today. There are some more nuanced ways in which we can embody both grace and truth in a way that I think churches would probably grow if people realize, hey, this church is really engaged in this conversation in a real thoughtful, humanizing way. I think your church would probably gain more. You might lose some people, but I think there's going to be more people that are like, oh my gosh, finally a church is willing to talk about this. So yeah, silence isn't an option in 2020. It wasn't an option in 2010, but we got away with it. 2022, it's not an option.
Meanwhile, Sprinkle says the church's job is to stand for biblical truth while doing so with biblical grace.
When you start talking to actual people, it does sometimes interrupt your presupposition. Hear stories, talk to people, ask questions. I mean, doesn't mean you agree with everything they say, but people get blown away and they find out you're a Christian and you're interested in them as a human person.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
We'll be back with an encouraging word for your day right after this. Stay with us. Time for your Monday motivation, and today I want to leave you with this thought to begin the week. God is the same always, but His mercy and grace, well, they're new every single day, and He moves in your life in new ways. Don't box Him in, and don't expect Him to answer your familiar prayers in the very same way each time. That would not require faith, and faith is needed to please God. So yes, God is the same, but He is doing the new. That is a wrap for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can always find more of our programs on the CBN News channel. You can find them there at any time as well as online, cbnnews.com. We'd love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Make it a marvelous Monday and join us right back here, same time tomorrow. Goodbye. God bless.